Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode number 25, as a matter of fact, of our favorite guitar riff masters of all time. Each and every day here in the month of April 2023, we've been taking a look at some of those great guitar players who create those absolutely memorable riffs. It's one of the main reasons why we remember some of these songs is from that cool riff that usually starts out the song and oftentimes repeats it during the rest of the track, right? So here we are at day 25. We're nearing the end. This has been fun. I love talking about riff guys. I love talking about guitar players. So this has been an absolute blast for me. And I just realized that normally if I have a shirt by the band or the player, I try to wear it. I totally forgot this morning because I got tons of Grand Funk Railroad shirts in my collection, so boo on me. I just didn't feel like getting up and going and changing again. But Mark Farner is my guy for today. I knew I had to creep him in at some point this month because I think especially like the early Grand Funk Railroad albums are just loaded with really cool, oftentimes simple but very, very effective guitar riffs from Mr. Farner. One of the all-time greats, in my opinion. May not be a technically proficient guy, but man, the stuff he played was just so raw, so full of groove and feeling, and early on, lots of fuzz, right? I mean, he had this very weird, rare guitar called a Musicraft Messenger, which you can see him playing on this album right here. Basically, it just looked like some tiny little acoustic guitar, right? With these little soapbox pickups, but man, he play some racket out of that, man. It's like, just with a fuzz box into the amp. I mean, it's just an occasionally wah, right? It's just that was his sound, and it was just so raw and uncompromising, and that's what helped make some of the early Grand Funk Railroad albums, to me anyway, so exciting. So so I picked out 3 riffs, and as you can guess, there's going to be at least one from the second album, Grand Funk, the Red Album, Grand Funk Railroad's Grand Funk, otherwise known as the Red Album. There's loads of them on this one. And I ultimately decided to not go with one which is perhaps my favorite, only because Inside Looking Out is really a cover, right? It's better than the original, but it's a cover of an old Animals song. So I decided, well, I'm not going to go with that, even though is just so awesome. But I'm not going to pick that one. What I am going to pick is I'm going to pick In Need, which is a terrific bluesy lick. So good, so in the pocket, so Grand Funk Railroad, because that's what I love about this band, is that they were heavy, but yet they were funky at the same time. There's so much groove and R&B kind of creeping into their music, into this like raw, uncompromising, like garage rock, early kind of proto-metal type thing. Just really, really great. And then, of course, I have to go with the spooky, heavy, grimy Paranoid, right? Which is just loaded with fuzz. That just, what a menacing, doomy riff. And I'm not even going to try and do it because it's just down, down, down. It's so awesome. It's so crushing, right? And it only appears at a couple times during the. It's a lengthy song too. But that Paranoid, again, has nothing to do with Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Totally different song. Totally different mood to it. This is just, I guess you could call it like one of the perfect like late 60s kind of like drug songs, right? I mean, that's the feeling you get listening to it, about maybe someone who's paranoid about all sorts of things, or maybe they're on lots of dope or whatever, and that, whatever. But a perfect song for the time. So from this album, In Need and Paranoid, and then lots of other great ones to pick. I had a whole bunch in consideration, but I think what I'm going to pick is the kickoff track to Closer to Home, which is actually Sin's a Good Man's Brother. Awesome, awesome song. Great vocal from Mark on that as well. He's just a great frontman. Terrific frontman. I think one of the underrated guys from this time period who could just kind of command an audience, guitar skills, vocals. There he was, the long hair, right? Never wearing a shirt, playing his guitar, running all over the place, sweating, singing, playing. The whole 9 yards. Just such a really good, energetic band. The Grand Funk Railroad did not just stand there and play. You had Don on the drums, right, thundering away, Mel on the bass. Very, very cool early power trio. And then they added Craig Frost on keyboards too and augmented their sound, starting with the Phoenix album, right, and going forward, and then they really hit their stride with We're an American Man and the American Band and albums that came afterwards, which were all really, really big sellers. But his raw, uncompromising, primal sound, I think, on those early records, to me, just so cool, and so many great riffs. So many great riffs. So those are my picks: In Need, Paranoid, and Sin's a Good Man's Brother from these two albums right here. If you are a fan of Mark Farner, let us know what your 3 favorite riffs are from the Markster in the comments below, but also your pick for today, day 25, as we march our way on to day 30. And then we're going to move into my favorite heavy metal albums of the 80s, ranked in order, starting on the first day of May, going all the way to the 31st. And I will be ranking my favorite 31 albums that came out in the decade of 1980. No easy task. I haven't even put my list together yet. I'm going to actually sit down this weekend and kind of formulate that. That should be, that should be challenging. But going to do it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page. So thanks for all that. And in case you're asking, this was one of my record store day purchases at Rock Fantasy this past weekend. I got this awesome Miles Davis t-shirt, right? Gotta love Miles. It's like I don't have enough Miles. I have a Miles Davis sweatshirt, right? But I need something. Always wanted something to wear when the weather's a little warmer. And this, love the color. Love the colors. They had two different kinds. One was a different pose of Miles, and it was more like a gold type of a look, which I thought was pretty cool. But I thought Miles in blue, I thought was really, really awesome, so I had to get this. So stay tuned. What do we got coming up here on the channel? So, of course, tomorrow is Wednesday, so we've got new albums for you tomorrow. We've got the new Jethro Tull, the new Overkill, may squeak out one more for you. And then all sorts of stuff happening later in the week. We've got the Monsters Den Thursday night, of course. Friday morning, the Funhouse with Martin Popoff on Friday. And then Sunday, we'll be ranking the albums. Chris Allen and I will be doing Danzig, so that's coming up on Sunday. So thanks for watching, everybody. I am Pete Pardo. Have a good week, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.